onto rotation, there's a couple things that we can do to further influence the way that these are rotated. So we're using our normals in an up vector to define an initial orientation of our object, but there's an additional attribute called rot, R-O-T, and I'm just putting down an attribute vop here that we can use to do a rotation after establishing our initial orientation. So I'm going to call this rot parameters. And now let's just create the attribute we need. So I'm going to press tab and type the word bind and grab an export. Now this is a 4-float. It's a quaternion attribute, which means that it's going to take an angle of rotation or axis of rotation and an angle and create a rotational parameter out of that. So we will call this rot. Now in order to do spin, what we will want to do is figure out what our angle is. Before I do this, I'm just going to press tab and type, press tab. I'm just typing Q here, just grabbing a quaternion. And you can see it's going to take an angle, an axis, and then spit this value out that we can bind right into rotation. So we are going to want to spin around our normals. So that will be our axis. I'm just going to press tab and normalize first to make sure that our normals are in fact equal in size. And just put that right into our axis and our quaternion right here. You can see as I start playing with our angle here that we are spinning along the normals. Now notice when I go to 1, that's not 1 degree, that's actually in radians. So we would want to convert whatever our angle is from degrees into radians. So we will say tab and type degrees to radians. Now what we'll do is do a randomization here as well. So I'm going to press tab and type random. We will grab our point number. And we will fit this. So I'm pressing tab and typing fit. Right into there. And right now we'll make sure we have no rotation as our defaults here. So I'm just going to promote both these. And we'll call this min spin. And we'll say the value here is -180 to 0. And then we'll call this max spin. And that will be 0 to +180. Plug that right into there and build that quaternion. And let's just go up and make sure that's working. There it is. So now we'll rotate just completely randomly. And to do that as well, we'll need another quaternion. Oops, just press tab, type Q. There we go, quaternion. And for this, what we'll do is take a random here, and we'll grab our point number. Where's our point number? There it is. And now we'll spit out a vector. And what we'll use is just a random axis of rotation. So let's fit that. There we go. Between -1 and 1. And now I want to normalize this as well. So pressing tab, typing normalize. That goes into our axis. And now for our angle, we can simply just promote this if we want. Or we can have min and max values of random rotation. We can do that, that's fine. So we'll type random again. And we will grab our point number. Press tab and fit that right here. I'm going to default everything to 0. But we'll promote both of these, middle click, promote, middle click, promote. And now we'll call this min random rotation. We'll call this one max random rot. That will go into our angle here. And I also want to do a degree to radian. So I'm pressing tab, degrees to radian. And let's get these values set as well. So minimum will go -180 to 0. And our maximum, we will go 0 to 180. And dealing with quaternions, we need to do something special. So I'm pressing tab, typing Q, and we want a quaternion multiply. We simply just multiply these two things together. Now when we go up here, we can see that our maximum random rotation is going in one way, minimum going in the other. And of course we can continue to spin. So now we have all the controls we need to deal with rotation on our object. So we'll go up. We're going to save the node type. We'll save our file and continue.